Let's start. My name is Claudio Andaur, also known, or should I say better known as Malefico in Blender artist of the Blender circuits. I'm here to talk about Plumiferos, which is a project, a 3D movie feature film project we are making in Argentina. Argentina is a country in South America, for you to know. And, last year, Ivan Hoffman and Manuel Perez, my partners and colleagues, were talking about this. I will make a brief presentation of the project. And, okay. Well, Manos Digitales is the studio we founded a couple of years ago. And let's talk about how we started. Okay, this is Spanish. It's a newspaper, and it's bad news. It's about a crisis we had in Argentina in 2002. It took us a couple of years to get over it. And at that time, I was teaching Blender in an art school. And well, I met a guy who was willing to make a 3D movie. And we thought it was the right time to start with it. I don't know why. And well, we started thinking about how to cope with the technical difficulties which are implied in making a movie. So the problems we had were, well, get funding sources, and about the software, the only choice we had was to try free, libre, open source software. So about funding sources, we found two types of sources, which were the type A, which is the more friendly approach, and the type B, which was slightly worse. So we kind of have a mixed up of these two guys. I won't tell you who's winning now. And about the software, well, Blender, as you can imagine. So our first step was making a demo with Blender. At that time was 2.36. We had many problems with this. I wouldn't like to explain. And well, with that demo, we get the first financial support, so we can actually set up a studio, hire people, and buy some machines to make it, right? So Eve was born. Eve was our first machine. That was a hot summer in Buenos Aires, and that was our studio when we first started. So behind the ugly thing there with the beer and all, there is a kitchen. This is a small room besides the kitchen, which we have plenty comfort and ergonomics. Yeah, these guys were just right behind me, working, and when rain gets in, it really gets in. So there is water in the buckets, outside the buckets, over the screens, everywhere. So it was a hot summer, and well, this was how the very first tradition of the studio began. We call it the Friday beer, or Beer Friday, and it's when we all get relaxed and have a cup, have a drink. So let's see how the studio looks like. First, I would like to make a very clear comparison between these guys here. You might know them. And we, right? Here. So what are our real assets? These are, of course, our people. These are two pictures of the team, one in February 2006 and later on in September. This guy, you might know him, Bassam. And, well, this is how we work. This little guy here, you might also know him. He's Andy, who's somewhere around. So they came to Argentina and worked with us like a month. And yeah, he's been on GFX. You might also know him. He's our star in the studio. So that's who we are. Okay, let's talk about the movie a little bit. It's directed by Daniel De Filippo, who's he's a director who was working on TV in Argentina for many years. He wrote the script, and the movie is currently produced by CS Entertainment, which is a little company, Telefe, which is a big media company in Argentina, Cien Bares, and us, Manos Digitales, who provide the know-how. The length of the movie is around 100 minutes. It's too long right now. We are in the process of cutting it down a bit. It's intended for all audiences, and the total budget of it is $700,000. The first half of it has already been spent, and we are currently in a short break until we finally get the rest of the money to to end the project. The project duration was first estimated in 18 months. Now we are talking about 2 years. And here are the characters. Okay, the whole movie is about birds, right? This is Juan. It's a sparrow. And this character is acted by an Argentinian actor called Mariano Martinez. This is Feifi, a little canary. Clarita, a bat, female bat, young bat. Livia, she's a pigeon. People, a hummingbird, and Mr. Puertas, who's a powerful business guy in software. He created an operating system called Puertas Millennium XD, and yeah, any resemblance with the real characters, it's all in your imagination. So, a few tips about the movies. This is the first feature film, 3D feature film made in Argentina. Probably will be the first feature film using or completely made with open source software in the world. let's see. How do we work? Okay, first, let's talk about these Plumi guys. Okay, the team, we are organized in this way. We have the build guys, who are people who care about contracts, build taxes, legal stuff, and they try to keep us safe from investors type B. You remember the yellow guy. Then we have the whip guy, who's a director. He leads actors during voice recording, that kind of stuff. So we can see here a sample of one of those sessions in a minute. Is this working? Yeah. Here you will see a recording session with Luisana Lopilato, who is the actress who put the voice for Feifi. Ouch. You can hear it. Yeah, unfortunately, seems to be a problem with the video output. I can see it in the screen, but you cannot see it. Okay, it should be here. Okay, I have a better idea. Okay, let's see if you can. There it is.
Escena 24, toma 1.
Acá adentro te vas a sentir más segura. Fugitiva Ceci. Esos malditos nunca te encontrarán aquí. ¿Qué malditos? Esos.
Silencio.
¿Qué? ¿A dónde vas a ir? ¿Qué quieres tomar? ¿Sangre animal o sangre humana? Una broma. Nos vemos después, fugitiva Ceci. Acá nadie te va a molestar. Este es el lugar más seguro para dormir.
Okay, that's one of the sessions. And other things that he's responsible to is working with the guys for the art department in the making of the storyboarding, which is very, very important. And the other thing he does is to set cameras for all the shots of the movie. So he's kind of a Blender head too. He was learning Blender as the production went. So this leads me to the pencil guys, the art department. They made the storyboard and also the concept art and character design, right? They designed the sets, characters, right? This is a sheet of expressions, character expressions. And also they work with the photography director in creating the light moods of every scene, right? You can see here the number of the scene and how it should look like. Then we have the hack guys, which are, yeah, it's one or two actually in the studio. They are in charge of software development, trying to maintain the stable branch of Blender, writing Python scripts, and making the tools we use at the studio, which are these things. Google is something we use to organize the information. It's a big database with all the shots and the state of every shot in the studio. The RIP, which is a render management software, and the Plumiblender, which is Blender with some patches or features that we consider useful, but are not. Some of them are not good quality for the Blender official branch, right? Okay. And yes. So Diego is also responsible for managing the render farm and for workstation support. Right? Every time you have a problem with your machine, go with him. He's very receptive. And then we got the Blender guys, well, the real macho heroes, of course, and we talk about them just in a minute. Okay, this is the little explanation about the 3D pipe tree, actually, because it's not a line anymore. So we have, we start with modeling. This is not new. Here we have several screenshots of the kind of work they made. They made low proxy versions of every model and also the high poly versions. The proxies are used for animation, street details, everything, right? Phone booths, everything you can see in all the sets. Oh, thank you. Oops. Buildings, all details. They even model some trees. Some of them are scripted, but then retouched manually. Props, objects, the characters might use. And of course, the characters. Some of them include this weird cat, Freddy, Mr. Puertas, which has 3 versions with different clothes. And this one is my preferred one. This is a character called El Jote in Spanish. I don't know if it's a translation in English. It's a bird. Okay, once the modeling is done, we can split the pipe line in 3 branches, which are simultaneous, right? They work independently from each other, which is character rigging, layout, and textures and materials. So they don't need to be one after the other, so we work together at the same time. So layout is basically grabbing all the stuff from modeling and making the sets. This is done by linking from different libraries. So actually these files are small, are 300K, no more than that. And here we collect all the models from the libraries. well, they work following art direction as how it should look like, or the elements it should have. Lots of sets. These are just a few. You can believe me that when I tell you there are lots of sets. And also proxy versions, because sometimes the geometry is too much. So for animating the scenes, we have to make these low polygon versions to have the camera animation, for instance. This is a square and part of a neighborhood. So. These are all places that resemble a specific area in Buenos Aires, but I think you'll find similarities with your own cities too. This is a big one. So, and textures and materials, of course, which they made the textures for all the characters, of course. Well, yeah, there. You can see the textures are very detailed. And here are some note settings, or well, screenshots of how they work. This is Livia. Okay. Here are some of the notes. You can see, if you can understand, please explain to me, because I don't. This area is completely strange for me. This is the normal map of the Jote, this character you will see. I'll show you later. Okay, you can see here UV mapping for Mr. Puertas in pajamas. Or here you can see an animated texture for the wings of the hummingbird people. Well, here is how one of the sets, looks like when fully textured. This here, I was told it has a normal map. I had to believe it. And also they made matte painting for backgrounds, skies. Well, so let's see. When layout is done and character rigging is done, we have these stages of animation, character animation and object animation, and they both interact between each other, right? I won't go further with the animation stage because I'll show you a brief clip when I'm done with this boring part. So we have, after the character animation, we introduce the effects, which are particles for explosions, smoke. I don't know, I think, okay, I think I have to. Okay, this is a clip. Friendly bell. Here. That's the first version, and then when texture and lighting is added. Okay, I can reproduce it one more. So you can see the object animation and then the particle stuff. There is also character animation here, but it was not rendered for this sample. Okay. Then we have the fluid simulations. Here, where you can see a screenshot. I'll show you a video right now. These simulations are hard because we have to work with many levels. For instance, that mud that splash is composed by many layers of mud, of splashing mud. Right? So we have to work with a proxy version of the character, then create a special version of the character itself with the mud on its head and body, and those separate meshes are animated by the same armature. So you just will see the character with mud on its body. And then we have the soft body simulations, which we have two kinds of soft body simulations. The first one are the more easy to do, which are like curtains flying with the wind, and let me see. Okay, I need to check this and that. Or, for instance, this, which is more complex stuff, and I'll show you a work in progress video actually, because you'll see this has a couple of glitches here. Why, you can see the first part of the animation was how the soft body was actually taking the initial position. And then you see the simulation over the character, animated character. So there are a couple of issues with this, especially collisions in the sleeves or some mesh interference here and there. But well, we are working on it. We are using the old soft body engine that Jens coded here. We are waiting for the cloth modifier to try it. Anyway. Okay. So once the effects are added and textures and materials are done, we have the lighting and photography stages. They start working with a gray plant, so they can focus on exclusively shadows and lighting without textures or anything else. And of course, they work with the art department in getting the right mood for the shot, for the scenes. Right, this is the previous image from the gray plant, now with full texture and light. And well, here are more cryptic screenshots from different scenes. Yeah, they're big. Okay, there are lots of nodes. Well, here you can see there are several layers, render layers for the characters, Juan, Livia, and the extras. And then you have the background. This is the floor and the trees of this, and this is the render frame. Okay, here are some depth of field effects. By the way, this is Pinion GFX theme. He likes pink. Well, there is a broken link here. Nice to meet you. And another broken link. Strange. Let's go on. Then we have the render stage, and finally composition and post-production to get the final render. So this is the tree, the way we work. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Plumiblender. Formerly the Plumiferos wish list. We post a wish list of the features we wanted for the project, we consider important for the project, and thanks to all the support from the coders around the world, we could make it real. So we ended up with the Plumiblender. Most of the features that were coded are currently in the Blender official repository, so except a few ones, most of them are too specific for problems we have. Some of them could be added in the future. For the node compositor, we have this number of nodes and things, like circular blur, which you can see a screenshot here. Or, well, this is funny, the empty node, which seems to be unimportant, but it's actually very useful when you have many sources and want to apply a complex change of nodes quickly. Where there is also the bypass option to avoid a certain node, but still keep the rest of the chain in the render. Renaming of the nodes, which is very useful when you have many nodes. Frame information, which we like to have it in the frame itself, render. you can add many specific information like time, date, hello world. Well, there were also a lot of tools for the action editor. Most of them are already in Blender. Maybe this one, I don't know if this one was added, was the ability to insert keyframes from the action editor window. For rigging, we have this little padlock here to lock the roll value, to protect it actually, because sometimes when you want to have a specific roll in a bone and you carelessly select all bones and press Ctrl-N, you can actually lose that roll. So this way you can be sure that it won't happen. Or colors for bones. This is not because we are happy people. We like to have a lot of color in the screen, but actually when you have a character with 4 legs, you could easily lose track of which is the left or right leg, or any specific bone, any part of the armature you want to track easily. Well, there's options for EPO editor. Most of them are cosmetic, some others not. Like this one is very interesting. I'll probably show you working. Okay, for video sequencer, the way you can change strips or move strips in the sequencer. Well, options to draw lamps in the 3D view with their color to quickly identify a lamp in a complex setup. Access to bone layers in 3D view. Actually, you can collapse this whole thing and keep only the bone layers in the view. This is very comfortable when you're animating and using a single window. Well, the name of the camera is displayed everywhere when the depth camera. Depth camera is displayed no matter what. Okay, and we use this system for coloring layers to keep track of what layers have an object or has the active object. This one we added a few weeks ago, way to indicate and in Outliner, the most important thing we added was a search function with wildcards. So you can create a custom tree by inserting a string with a wildcard. For instance, here you can see all vertex groups starting with the word ojo, which means eye in Spanish, or only the right bones of the armature. Very useful when animating. Okay, and here are the very specific Plumi features like the fix node, which was coded to fix some render errors. Okay, I'll show you a typical render error situation. For instance, here you might see some white spots that get vector blurred, like position lights in an airplane. Or, for instance, some of them, and sometimes in some situations, those lights are turned into these black squares. You can see it there. Right there. And there. Yeah, nice, right? So, well, these errors are really random because you can re-render the same frame and this white spot won't show up. So, Diego made a hack to fix this because we don't know why it happens nor when it happens. So he found a way to detecting the wrong values in the image, the RGB values in the image, and fix them. Once fixed in the EXR file, then it won't happen again. So here I'll show you a demonstration. So, okay, this is an EXR file. We here have the many layers. In the background, there is, okay. You can see this white spot here, and the values here look ugly. I don't know if you can see the R component is like several billions, right? So, and this guy, when applied the different composite nodes, turned into this big fella here. So to fix this, okay. Yeah, this is like the magic button. Make a great movie. And voila. Woohoo! It's gone. And once it's gone, you can save the Excel file again and forget about this. See, it won't show up. Okay, you will be happy when you see the video. Okay, I lost my presentation. Oh, here it is. And then there is some features that are very particular, like behavior of backup in Blender or confirmations, because some users like me are too dumb, and sometimes I open a new file without having saved the file I was working with. So it happened to me a couple of times, and I asked Diego kindly to add a confirmation when the blend was modified. So here, and this is useful for scripting. It's a scanning of the libraries used by a blend from the command line. So you can add a string indicating what you want to search for, like objects, and it will print out all the objects in the scene and their state, if they are linked or if they are local or whatever. This is very useful because you can add this to a script in Python and it helps you a lot to clean up, to debug a scene, a file. Or saving different render layers from different scenes in the same EX file. You can just use this box. Okay. And this is about the Plumi Blender. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I like to show you now a clip with several shots from the movie. Sometimes it's gonna shut down. Yeah. Wow. Here we go. Hope you like it. It has many render errors, and it's not final, but you can have a grasp of how it's looking. Plumiferos.
¡Epa! Bueno, ¿eh? ¡Alerta! ¡Auto! Hasta mañana. Siempre hace lo mismo.
Pero no entiendo. ¿Podemos bajar o ver un auto?
Pero no es así. A la noche es más fácil cazar insectos, solo eso. No puedo. Es más, una vez volé todo el día debajo del sol. Mis padres se enojaron mucho. Lo tengo prohibido. Pero la noche me aburre. Siempre es de noche. Pero, ¿ves bien? ¡Esto es vida! ¡Se ve todo de día! ¡Veo cosas que nunca había visto! Presentación, canta un grupo de aves muy conocidas. ¡Fantástico!
Se siente un poco más pesado el plumaje, pero nada más. Esto me va a pasar hasta que me acostumbre a ser diferente.
Yo me encargo. Bueno, todos lo conocen y nos recomendaron venir.
¿Cree que estará mejor y más tranquila en libertad? Quizá fuera mejor que volviera a su jaula con el cuidado del hombre. Él es en realidad el que mantiene a su especie con vida.
No sé cómo seguir. Todo lo que hice para llegar hasta acá. ¿Y ahora?
No sé cómo seguir.
Pienso que un sueño parecido no volverá más. Y me pintaba las manos y la cara de azul.
sueño se quebró, a la mentira ya la alumbra el sol. Perdido entre las sombras, por fin lo pude ver. Hoy necesito hablarte antes que alumbre el sol. Antes que alumbre el sol, te diré quién soy. Antes que alumbre el sol, te diré quién soy. Antes que alumbre el sol.
¡Juancito, Juan!
¡Ay, tenés todas las plumas! ¡Comiste bien!
¿Te daban alpiste gratis? ¿Estaba buena la jaula?
¿Alguien te pegó? ¿Te hicieron algo?
Sí, vamos y nos desquitamos, ¿eh?
¡Juan, contá, por favor, contá! ¡Te lavaron el cerebro!
Miremos el lado positivo. Por lo menos nos gira muy rápido, ¿no?
¡Ah, listo! ¡Nos volvemos! ¡Paloma al nido!
Pipo, ¿qué haces?
Pipo, ni se te ocurra venir para acá. Podemos buscar otro conducto.
Pipo, ya está. Por favor, te pido, alejate de ahí.
Pipino, querido, vení para acá ya.
Sí, yo sabía que hoy tenía que ir a su consultorio, pero ya le dije que me olvidé.
Usted dijo encender bidet.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I don't know if I had some extra minutes to questions, yeah?
I first want to apologize for the black spots and the white spots. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like it's only one thing that's causing it. It must be one little material or something that's causing it.
Yeah, maybe it's a nose. We don't know really.
We are going to fix this. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, it's a must.
You can re-render everything easily, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, you can have the same frame and re-render, and it won't show up. It will look right.
But the advantage is we start on the Peace project now. We will use Linux in the studio, not OS 10. So the Linux.
Then you have black spots.
But you have 64 bits too, or 32 bits? You are, you are still using the 32 bits because at that time the 64 bits was not stable.
Yeah, we are using 32 bits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had it wasn't secure in 64 bits. Yeah.
But now we have the studio. Let's make us the worst file with the birds flying away in the distance. It had all kinds of white spots. Send it to us.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
We'll look at it. We're fixing this, right? Immediately. Okay. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Going to dub the movie to English, keeping the lovely Argentinian accent?
No, of course not. No, this is preliminary audio. It's just the original one, but no. When the movie surely will be translated to Spanish from Spain, so you can be
I like
relaxed.
it. I like it.
No.
Questions?
I'd like to know which frame rate do you use?
24.
24, and what resolution of the finished picture?
That's about 1080, 100 something.
So HD, more or less.
Yes. Yes, more or less
And
HD.
what's the average time for a picture to render?
Well, average, it's hard to estimate because there are frames that take really long and some others are 5 minutes. But you can think about 15 minutes to 20 minutes a frame.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. How do you cope with new features and new Blender versions, like sculpting?
I can hear you right. What?
Hello.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about the new features in new Blender versions, like sculpting tool and subsurface scattering. Is it like when you use a new version, you have to use this functionality?
Yeah, we all the time try to apply the new features. The problem with new features is that they also have new bugs. So we kind of got to stick to all well-known features, hopefully bugless, because we cannot really risk too much time in problems that, except that we really need that feature. In that case, okay, we turn into suicidal mode, no problem. But yes, for instance, subsurface scattering, I think the texture guys used it for some effects, but not extensively. Yes.
Thank you.
More questions?
Not you again.
I mean, apart from fixing this horrible bug stuff, what is it what you are really waiting for? Is there something that is blocking you at the moment to finish it? You animated most of it, I think, and you're now waiting for the rendering?
Yeah, we have around 85% of the movie animated. No, this bug is not stopping. It's not blocking us because well, we have this fix now works pretty much well. And
maybe the fur or hair. You have a cat, but the cat.
Yeah, we have a cat. We would like to have fur for it. We made a couple of tests. Not too happy actually. But we don't want to resign that, so we would like to have fur for the cat. Yeah, give me fur.
Within 6 months you will have it, right? Huh? What was it? 3 months. Okay, 2 months. 2 months.
We can wait to the last minute. So when it's released, we render. Any more questions? Anybody? Yeah.
You had a lot of proxy objects and a lot of high polygon objects, and you said you animate using those proxy objects. Do you also, for instance, long shots when there are lots of buildings, and do you use proxy objects in renderings too? When, example, the camera is very far away, or do you at rendering time actually replace them with the high polygon objects to save, well, to save memory or something?
Yeah, memory. Yeah, we have even we have low quality textures for same character when it's long. It's far away from the camera. We switch to a low quality texture. Yeah, we try to do every possible trick to save memory because it's a big problem. Separating in different scenes and different blends for the background or parts of the background. Yeah, rendering and using as a matte painting, for instance, a matte painting.
Okay, thank you.
First of all, congratulations for Plumiferos.
Thank you very much.
How many matte painting did you use for the movie?
Quite a lot. You can, I can explain you like this. There are 100 scenes. Every scene has average of 15 shots, and you're probably using a matte painting for every shot.
More than 1,000.
What?
More than 1,000.
Yeah, more than 1,000. Exactly.
One more.
One more, okay.
Could you tell us a little bit about the lighting setups that you used? What lamps?
Well, we use the old-fashioned lamps. We are using spots with soft shadows and with shadow buffers, and we are using the new buffer type, which is I can't remember the name. It's a regular buffer. We are using. We are not using ambient occlusion or any ray traced shadow. It's all. Sometimes it's painted. The texture, the shadow is actually painting, and negative lamps. Yeah, this is pretty much it. We are using ray tracing only for reflections, not for any shadows or other kind of tricks.
Are you going to publish some of your blend files? Is that already available on plumiferos.com?
Our plan is to publish a sample scene with characters for people to, and documentation on how we made it, so people could try it and see the actual pipeline, how it works and everything. We cannot publish everything. We have problems with copyrights for the characters and things that are actually not our own, because this is a financial thing, right? We have to pay a rescue or something like Blender.
You can replace some of the characters with other stuff, but it could
Yeah,
help for bug fixing. If you have a couple of reference files available for the developers, you can do regular render tests to see if everything is still working. That will help you too. But then you have to give up some of the files, put them on the web, and make them the standard testing files for us. That could help.
Yeah, that will be done.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
let's have some lunch, and after this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lunchtime. Oh, okay, I see you later.
Nog één testje draaien voor de